terrible thing to be a priest. It's beautiful, in some sense. I wouldn't change it. You love it, but you have to die. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's not a career. It's something you just bear, in a good way with Christ, because you're entering into that in some small way, because the priesthood is Christ's. And so, it's a fearful thing to be a priest. It's really a fearful thing. God help us. God help us. We're men, men who make mistakes. Hopefully we're upholding church teaching as best we can. If you want to be a priest, then you have to be ready to suffer. Because you have to suffer with Christ for your people and for the world around you, and then you have to love, and you have to try to love as best you can. And that's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. And there's so many temptations, there's so many temptations for priests to really pray for them. But if you're doing it, it's not a career. It's not a career. In fact, if you want a career, it's the worst career choice you could ever make in your whole life. So don't do that. It has to be life. And sometimes all you have is Christ. And you're stripped down to almost nothing. And left with only Christ. And you have to be ready for that. You have to be ready for that. You have to be ready to be rejected. You have to be ready to be persecuted. You have to be ready to love when people don't love you. You have to be ready to forgive when forgiveness is not given to you. You have to be ready to be slandered. You have to be ready to be spoken ill of. You have to be ready to be mocked. You have to be ready. All Christians do, but in some sense, in a more potent way, the priest has to.